I have a lot of thunder in my hands, and I'll take 16 seconds, man.
Matthew, the Jedi, Semelsberger! That's it. Alexander the Great!
Huge. Wow. I'm one of the most dangerous guys in this division.
Alexander the Great! Volkanovski! Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. I hate my announcer voice. I'm very congested today. I have a bit of a cold, I think, so you have to excuse my stupid stuffed nose. We have Matt Semelsberger be joining us in just a minute, and we also have the champ Alexander Volkanovski fighting Brian Ortega, of course, the main event at UFC 266. He will be on a little later in the show, hopefully. And I'm still wanting to figure out, Matt, that I don't think they know. Haqparast against Hooker. Hooker, apparently his visa issues have been worked out. Haqparast is still working on his, hopefully it will get done. How about the embassy speed it up a little? I mean, I know you guys are busy, but if somebody's coming here to work on a live event, I mean, how about you step on the gas just a little and cut the bureaucracy if you can?
I understand.
Come on, guys.
We got to take this down a notch, because I just realized now, Jimmy.
What?
I mean, you were doing the radio probably all morning.
Yes.
So you're right out of a cannon, and you didn't even say hello to me.
Oh, you know what? Hi, Matt.
Jimmy, I wish I could. I can't wait to hug you. I'm gonna give you a big bear hug.
I can't breathe. I'm so stuffy.
I know. Well, Jimmy, listen. We're gonna talk to Matthew Sano Jr in literally a second, and we're gonna get him right in. But really quick, I went to my TRT doc this morning, and I gave blood earlier. You know what I mean? Because I realized that my red blood cells were a little high. That's the problem with the TRT. You got to keep levels. You got to check you're good. Check if your levels are good. You can't let that get too high.
Well, what happens?
Well, you could fucking have a stroke or something. You can't let your blood get too thick.
Right.
You go and you give blood, which is very good to do. So you give blood and you keep yourself healthy at the same time. But my point is this. It's not about me giving blood and yada, yada, and my TRT shot in a hiney. It's not about that. About me Kamoring 20-year-olds feeling great.
Sure.
It's not about that.
Wow, you got abs, Matt. Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Matt's in good shape.
But listen to me. The point is, I normally walk around when I'm chubby, when I was the fattest, 230, when people would call me a meatball. Lately, I've been walking around close to 200, which is nice. I was 196 today, bro. That's like, that's like, that's right before I start cutting for a fight, which I'm not doing. Anyway, my point is, I want a pat on the back for being like lighter than 200 pounds. And that's from you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it?
What?
Listen to me. Misery loves company, you little fucking bitch.
That is true.
Jimmy, I'm sorry. No, you haven't been training, have you?
No, because they move schools. I'll tell you why. No, I've been traveling a lot. Every Thursday I travel. I've been out of town, and I'm also just been doing stuff during the day to fix my windows in my apartment.
I got you. So you boiled that down to two excuses, because traveling and out of town, same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I did when me and my wife, when we traveled? I'm not getting the details what we did, everything we did. But we started a day, we went to the gym. So don't give me no bullshit. So your endorphins aren't running. No, they're not going. Mine are. I'm all happy about my weight. That's like you coming in going, oh man, I got hooked up with Jimmy Rivera again, and I had a great day of training. And I'm mad. I feel great, and I'm down in weight. And me going, so when is Jedi the Semi coming in?
But I didn't say that.
You didn't say anything, Jimmy.
No, when's Matt coming in?
Let's get our first guest in. Jimmy, you know what's funny about me and you?
What, buddy?
I can't stay mad at you. I can't. Oh, look at this.
We didn't come into your podcast at the wrong time, did we?
No, this is the right time.
No,
bro.
it's perfect time.
Here we go. We're here.
15 minutes early.
You are the champion of the world, man. You do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Hey.
Huh? Yeah?
Yeah. What now? Who's the guy over your shoulder? I want to say hello to him too. Is he?
Yeah, he's like, who's that?
You're a Sterling guy, hey?
Yeah. Why? Do you like Sterling or no?
I'm a young guy, brother. I'm sorry.
Listen, man. Hey, listen. You just here to pick a fight? What's going on?
No, he's a fucking. I'm gonna get out of my shop, mate.
Hey, tell Jimmy who's your favorite comedian now. You're a Jimmy guy or you're a fucking someone else guy?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't worry, mate. Don't listen to this bloke.
Hey, Volkanovski.
It's just constant banter over here, mate. Nothing.
I love banter.
Boys going at it.
Banter. But what was I gonna say now? Your mate threw me off with that.
Well, I'll ask you something. What now? You're finally not training for Max, like, and Brian, whose striking is obviously improved a lot, and he's a very good striker. I mean, a different threat typically than Max presents. It's a terrible threat, but a different threat. So how do you prepare differently for him as opposed to Holloway, who you know is going to stand with you?
Yeah, man, it's totally different challenges. You know what I mean? So that's why it's exciting. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, in saying that, you know, I'm known for my well-roundedness. You know what I mean? I'm so well-rounded. I can take the fight sort of anywhere. But obviously, you know, you got Ortega, who's very dangerous on the ground and all that type of stuff. So I need to be careful with what I do. But in saying that, I'm just too well-rounded. I put things together too well. My movement's too good. And again, he hasn't dealt with anything like that before. You know, he's going to have his game plans. He's going to have his direction. So he thinks, but, you know, I'm going to quickly switch that up on him. And he's going to figure out real early that, you know, I'm just too much. You know what I mean? It's going to get in his head. And that's when you're going to see him start to crumble.
Hey, this morning I spent my morning watching, because I just went and did mine. It was fun. But I saw you with the Year of the Fighter. That was good, man.
Yeah, it was good fun. That was while I was here. When I was here doing the Ultimate Fighter, so we squeezed that in as well. So
that was a while ago.
Yeah, so that's when we did it. Yeah, so that's when we filmed it. So you can see I looked a little heavier there too. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you look in shape now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you haven't lost in what, 8 years? Last time you took one loss, and it was 8 years ago.
I couldn't tell you, but yeah, something like that.
And how do you feel now that you're the champion? You have different press responsibilities. There's a different level on your shoulders of expectations and of focus. And has that changed anything for you, either good or bad? Has that made you like a little, you know, you have to do more media than you used to, or blah, blah, blah?
I mean, look, it's fight week's just fight week for me. You know what I mean? It's usually a pretty busy schedule. Obviously it's a lot more busy now, but I mean, I just adapt to everything. You know what I mean? I'm composed in all situations. So this is just still, I feel like a normal process for me. You know what I mean? And I don't mind. I'm one of the fighters that don't mind doing this. You know what I mean? You probably get a lot of fighters that can't stand it, hate all the obligations they need to do. But for me, it's a part of the process. It gets me ready for my fight. Lets me know that, hey, you're fighting soon. You know what I mean? Especially with the belt. Lets me know that, hey, you're defending this belt. You know, let's keep everything on track. Let's stay ready. Let's stay focused.
You're a level-headed guy. I never see you really in a bad mood. Even when I see you in person, when I see you, I mean, how are you in the morning? Are you grumpy in the morning, or you have to have your coffee? I can't see. You're a good dude. I don't see you, right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I never see him a little, like when we're talking to him, it's like, oh man, it's fight week, he might be uptight. Look at him. Look how relaxed he is.
Nah, mate, I'm all good. But dealing with these blokes, as you could see,
oh shit,
having to deal with these blokes, you know, I mean, they can get me in the mood, let me tell you. But now you're obviously cutting weight and all that type of stuff, you know. I guess I get agitated maybe a little bit easier, but I'm usually pretty chill.
Dude, I tell you right now, your bloke agitated me, and I don't even know that guy.
Yeah, exactly right.
Why would he feel obligated to tell me that, oh, you're a Sterling guy, I'm a Leon guy? I don't give a fuck who's got it.
Exactly. You tell him. I'll tell him all the time. Don't worry about it.
That's it. That's good you're a Leon guy. You could have Leon fucking underoos. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, I love you. Man, I'm going to see you out there, bro. I'm going out there in front of morale.
Don't worry, I'll get to train with him later. I'll sort him out for you. It's all good.
Okay, yeah, give me something. You're under 5'7". But
That's
anyway,
just a
man,
that's just a part of that's what I mean by the boys banter. I don't know. A lot of people can't handle it, but I mean, these boys are constantly stirring me up. They even get in my ear. They even saying things like, "Oh, I don't know, Ortega's he's looking good, man." You know what I mean? Like they get into that. That's the type of banter.
They break balls. They like to break balls.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing personal.
I see that like with your culture, it's similar to like the East Coast ball breaking culture. Culture. It is. Like Longo's constantly shitting on me.
Yeah, man. Well, that's honestly, that's how it is. A lot of people, they're like, "Are you guys friends or what? Like, well, you don't seem like friends. Like, what's going on here?" But that's just how we are, man. The banter's always strong. But yeah, again, it's always. He was even saying how much he liked you anyway, and he's still busting your balls. You know what I mean? If he's busting your balls, it means he likes you.
I like him too. All right, I'll be there. We'll get an espresso. So listen, you saw Brian's last performance. And with the Korean zombie, and listen, man, we have to admit he's never looked better.
Yeah.
I thought he's never looked better. So, again, I'm not saying, and I'm not shitting on the Korean zombie by all means. But again, you fought Max Holloway. You're coming off 2 fights with one of the greatest, Max Holloway. So it's a different, you know what I mean, in caliber of opponent, even though Korean zombie is very, very high level. My point is, like, did anything in that last performance by him come out of you? Well, again, I don't think you can even answer this. I'm about to say, anything that he did with you that surprised him from when you saw him prior?
Oh, 100%. 100% it did. And he definitely worked on things. And I'll get into a little bit of detail for you. But like before watching his fights before, he obviously was always he liked to come forward and throw big bombs. He would eat a lot of damage. He wouldn't fight at range and things like that. He would just plot forward, wouldn't even set up his strikes, literally walk forward into punches and throw, like similar to that. Where his last fight, he showed really good distance control, good range, great range. Shot selections was good, mixed it up well, and he even got reads on Zombie pretty well too. But that's where, so he definitely leveled up. He worked on a lot of things. And a good way of putting this, he had the perfect opponent that day to showcase all these new traits that because Zombie just let him do his thing. Zombie was just staying at a range where he was no footwork at all, flat-footed, no fakes, nothing, and just plot in a little bit. And then Ortega would just shot. And then every time a Zombie moved, it was obvious that he was coming forward and going to strike because there was no hidden, no camouflaging sort of movements. It was just nothing and going. Very easy to read, you know what I mean? So, but with me, if you watch me, everyone knows my footwork. I give you so many things to worry about, so many puzzles. You can't just sit there and look, I'm going to do this shot and just take your time. And it ain't like that. Ain't the type of fight it is. And you know what I mean? I'm going to be constantly making you adjust, constantly make you figuring things out. And if you're trying to keep up, which he has to, it's a whole heap of mess. You know what I mean? His head's just going, and that's when I start picking my shots, and that's where the control comes in. And that's not only pressure that I'm known for, you got this sort of mental pressure, this mental battle that you're sort of going through while all this is happening, trying to keep up. And obviously that's when the gas tank goes down. And that's when you start, obviously, mental state starts really, really going, oh, shit, what's going on here? Overload.
Does any of your clinch work, like you use with Jose Aldo up against the cage and the pressure, does that kind of change at all, knowing that and it's nice that you don't have much of a neck. I like that. That's hard. But is it change knowing that this dude gets a wrap around your neck and stuff? I mean, proper head positioning changes that I know, but again, are the tactics a little different? Because you're known for that pressure. Your strikes are fucking great, but then you close that distance.
Yeah, exactly right, man. 100%. Everything that everyone knows, I'm a calculated type of fighter. So every position we go into it with a certain approach. And the same as the takedown. You ain't going to see me doing, clear double leg takedowns. Or am I just confused? Maybe I am. I don't know. But I'm not going to put myself in a position where the neck's going to be taken. So he's going to have to try and force the guillotine. You know what I mean? And then that's going to be pretty hard because I'm usually got good head control. I'm usually pretty upright. I'm always in a pretty solid position. And then even if it gets, obviously, I'm the type of guy, I put myself in the deepest guillotines, the deepest triangles you can think of. And I'm going to start in them positions and work my way out. So I'm prepared if it does go there. But obviously, the game planning and all my approach is don't get anywhere near there in the first place. You know what I mean? So, but don't get me wrong. The clinch work is definitely going to be a tool we're going to take advantage of as well. Like, you're going to still see me clinch up. For people to think that there's no way I'm going to get anywhere near him is just silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's an approach to everything. But again, you know, even if it goes to the ground, you know, we need to be very careful in certain things. But there's still a way and an approach we go about things in these sort of positions. And, you know, we've got such a great team where we break things down, and we put ourselves in these positions time and time again. We break down every little position. You know, got Craig Jones, helping us in all these sort of positions as well. You know what I mean? So he's going to be in the corner. But you know what I mean? We've done a great job. Joe from Freestyle Fighting Gym, my gym, he's done a great job. You know what I mean? And again, put us in the positions people don't want to be. That's something that we have always done. And we do probably better than anyone else because, you know what I mean, I don't have yes men around me. I've got guys that are going to be like, hey, where's the work for this? I don't care if you don't fucking like it. You are working on this. So, you know what I mean? So I've been in these positions. And I guarantee you, Ortega has it. He's got a bunch of yes men around him. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? And I think come fight time, you're going to see that.
I'll tell you right now, that Craig Jones in your corner is fucking huge. I mean, huge, Jimmy. You know who Craig Jones is? He doesn't follow the jiu-jitsu world, do you? Don't lie.
No, I know who he is.
Okay.
Why would I lie?
You know, and I'm in He's not an MMA fighter, but he's one of the best grapplers on the planet. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. The even like the things that you think you know so much about, the detail that he goes into in this, like again, how we like to break down our game planning and the positions. He goes into fine detail in every position in jiu-jitsu, and then I do this and make adjustment, and he's nullified, you know, he's so good at nullifying other things while he's going into things. And like, you know, it's just the way that they think, you know, it's just when we talk about being steps ahead, the chess match that I like to play, you get to see that in the jiu-jitsu world, like why, you know, you're just talking to him, the information you get, you're like, mate, this is incredible. So again, we're going to be picking his brains. He's here tonight. So we'll keep picking his brains. I'm sure the boys in the corner will be as well. Just even though I'll be cutting weight soon, but yeah, we'll get as much knowledge as we can while we have it.
When you have a guy like that in your corner, does it help take away some of the mystique of a guy like Brian, who is known so much for such great jiu-jitsu? Does it kind of make, not that you were ever afraid of it, but does it make it an easier thing to overcome this mystique of how great he is when you have somebody like that in your corner? Just
100%, because I'm always trying to be the best I can. And Craig Jones, like, you know, you're going to have people that'll be like, oh no, Ortega, you know, like we even had on the show, Ultimate Fighter show. I forget his name. And he was sitting there going, oh, I'd love to see Ortega and Craig Jones have a role. And I'm like, and then we all of us, everyone on our team, our coaches are like, wait, what do you mean? Like, come on, man, you can't compare these two. You know, this is a whole different ballgame. You've got to remember, this is their world. You know, obviously he's heavier. And this guy's one of the best no-gi grapplers in the world. Like, you know, you're a fool to think that, you know, Ortega will do half decent. You know, when we say half decent, it's just surviving. You know what I mean? And let's see how long I can last without getting submitted. That's how it is with Craig. And I've been there. I know. So I'm very hard to submit. But I'm going to have him, you know, especially the first times we grappled. I was so lucky to have him through the Ultimate Fighter, putting me in all these positions, especially early, you know, where I thought I was comfortable, and he was still just able to just wrap me up and like still get submissions. Like, man. But then by the end of it, working with him and taking, you know, things, and mate, the amount of times he was tapping me at the start compared to the end was just crazy within the month that we were together. So that just shows you, you know, the knowledge he has, and being able to train with guys like that, how much that can help. So going into this fight, you know, obviously, you know, I've been in these positions, so I'm going to be composed. But again, it's still a threat. It's still something I need to be careful, and I've got to respect that.
And the idea, like, no one thought that Brian couldn't strike, but how effective his striking is, the surprise of that is over. You know, after Frankie Edgar and how good he looked against a zombie. So it's one of those things where you've already seen how good he can be standing up too. So you're not only going to be looking for takedowns and get caught by surprise on his striking.
Yeah, man, yeah, exactly. There's going to be an approach, as I said, to everywhere we go. If it goes to the ground on the clinch, clinch in the middle of the octagon, clinch on the cage, every position. If he's got a single leg, we have worked every single position. So again, it's because at the end of the day, it's because we respect his skills. Obviously I'm going to sit there, I'm going to bash Ortega, I'm going to say things about him, and you're going to do that. But again, there's a lot of respect there. I know he's got great skills, but I'm ready for him. You know what I mean? I'm always ready. I'm always prepared. I'm never underprepared. We're always more than prepared.
You got to feel good, man, watching that, how good Jose Aldo is doing lately, man, how good he looked. Don't you feel like, hey, man, people are thinking that guy fell off and, oh, man, maybe you beat him, but you didn't beat the best version. Man, you look great in that fight. Maybe because I just watched it. But I don't know. Like anytime you beat somebody and you see them doing good, it makes you feel like, I don't know, man.
100%. Yeah, seeing that. But I mean, not just that, he's a legend of the sport. And just still see him doing what he's doing against killers as well. That last fight, he looked great. And man, I tried telling people going in, like even when people asking me, like, who you got? I got Aldo. Even from fighting him, I knew he's like, and watching some of his fights, he's still so fast twitched. You know what I mean? He's still so fast. He's still, he still does everything right. You know what I mean? And he ended up showing more things. He ended up having a little bit more volume, I thought. I thought that he tended to go first a little bit more in this fight as well, which sometimes, he just looks for counters and, things like that. But he showed a few more tools. So I think he's still as dangerous as ever.
How was the crowd and the people with you in Brazil after you beat him? Because you beat him in Brazil. So
how you would expect fighting a legend of Brazil, the King of Rio, he's called. So obviously it's just a part of being in that arena. That's just what they do, right? Yeah. But I mean, they're still respectful in a way where, they're going to still say you're going to die and all this type of stuff. You're going to be doing these signs to you as you're walking out. So mate, like it was full on, but again, I'm so composed. It was just still another normal day. But, went in there and felt it. But I mean, afterwards, we're at the beach and that, and everyone was nothing but respectful and all that type of stuff. But again, going in that arena was definitely different. The crowd was, the loudest boos and that you're ever going to see. You're being threatened as you're walking through. And so, but again, all I can do at the time is just laugh about it. As I said, I was more worried about my boys in the crowd that were cheering for me. I'm like, boys, don't cheer for me. Keep that on the down low, man. Like, you know what I mean? Because I remember walking out. I was right there and I'm looking at the boys and they're right in front of me. I'm about to walk out. So just before my song's about to go. And the boys are like, yeah, doing this. And I'm like, man, I don't want them cheering for me. Hey, these guys next to him doing these ones. And then I got nuts all around him and all around them. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was starting to stress out a little bit for them. Not me. I was like, hey, it's all right. I'm going off to go.
Yeah, you already know who you have to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, these boys might get killed out here. I don't know.
Now, you had you were supposed to fight Brian, I think, in March, but you had COVID. Did you have just like asymptomatic, or did you really suffer with it? How bad was it?
Yeah, it got me good. I ended up in hospital and whatnot. So I was coughing up blood, and I ended up getting the pneumonia. So the COVID infection got all through the lungs. So I had to get on like dexamethasone and strong medication to just obviously help with the infection. So it got me pretty good. I had to. That's why we're always going to have to. We want to postpone the fight and reschedule it pretty soon. But the UFC doctors and all that were like, look, we can't have you fighting anytime soon. You're going to have to wait. And then that's probably why we end up doing the Ultimate Fighter, purely because we knew I couldn't fight straight away.
Just to recover, give your body some time. Yeah,
exactly. So I had to, obviously ease back into training. Just obviously we were hoping that there was no lung, scar tissue in the lungs and all that. But there's not. We all good. Again, Kent went well. I'm fitter than ever, so all good.
How long were you in bad shape for? Where you were like, fuck, I know I can't fight right now?
Man, look, well, it was obviously the first 4 or 5 days of when you start getting them, like you get the bad fevers and all that, like some of the normal symptoms that you'll get was all good. But then they sort of went away. But then obviously the lungs, the breathing and all that stuff was because it was still in the lungs. So that was probably for another 4 or 5 days. So it's probably like 10 days where it was still like, oh yeah, what's going to happen? But once I started seeing improvements, you just got to be positive. So I was just like, oh yeah, I'll be sweet. My doctors, obviously were back home and that were a bit more stressed out. Like they're like, man, we've got to make sure these lungs aren't aren't going to have long-lasting effects. You hear stories, the horror stories of a lot of people. So that's why we really wanted to get the treatment that we got, and really look after. That's why easing back into training, which is hard to do for me.
Yeah.
In the gym, I want to fucking go 100%, but being told you've got to go 50, just start off with 50, you know what I mean? And then just ease back into it. That was like a 6-week process. So, that was still difficult, but again, I'm a professional. I'm going to do what I have to do.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a great main event. The whole card is good.
Sick card, man.
Yeah. Shevchenko, Lauren Murphy, a great co-main. And of course, Nick and Robbie. Now they're not sure what weight they're going to fight at. Is it going to be 170, 185? But that, as the third fight, a 5-round non-title fight. What a great fucking pay-per-view this is. And good luck, man. It's good talking to you, and you seem ready, and you seem as good as you're going to be. You seem ready to go.
Always ready to go, mate. Always ready to go. And still.
All right. Nice talking to you, man. Take care.
I'll see you out there, bro.
All right. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Alexander Volkanovski.
That Semi the Jedi's got a new look going, I think.
I do.
Hey, this is your first time on this show, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Hey, man. How you doing?
First of all, nice to meet you. I enjoy your fighting style.
Thank you, man.
You're ferocious. Let me ask you something, because listen, and this goes to show you, Jimmy, about our producers, who are lovely people. I'm not
sure,
but they could be a little slow on the go. I've been asking, once I saw your nickname was Semi the Jedi, I go, I don't know if this dude's in the Star Wars, but I got to talk to him. You might not be. It might just rhyme. I don't know. I want to know right now. Are you into Star Wars, or that just kind of rhymes?
I am into Star Wars for sure. I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan, but I am I got a nerdy side to me, man. I play Dungeons and Dragons and all this fantasy type of games and shit like that. So Star Wars is right up that alley, man.
So how'd you get the name Semi the Jedi? Did you choose that, or did someone give it to you?
Yeah, so I added the Jedi onto the end. So my nicknames used to be Semi, just Semi. So I have a long last name, Semelsberger. So when I was playing football growing up, our coaches hated calling us by our last name because it was so damn long and hard to say. So they were like, all right, we got to think of something to call you. So one of our football coaches, who was a family friend, ended up just start calling us Semi, and it kind of stuck. And then it kind of worked out because on the football field, I like to lay out big hits and just lay people out and stuff like that. So it eventually kind of transcended into this dude hits a semi truck.
Like a semi truck, yeah.
He's running people over. So that's kind of how it was.
Wait, tell me something about you play Dungeons and Dragons? Is that what you said?
Yeah, D&D, man.
Now that's old school. Listen, how old are you? That's old school.
Yeah, man. So I don't play the older editions. I play the newer editions and stuff like that. But I know it's been around for fucking forever, man.
What's the difference? Is the newer editions on computer and the old ones weren't?
No, so they're all still tabletop style gaming. But I don't know. I'm not an expert on it, but the editions change up. It's a lot to go into, but it's just honestly just the style of gameplay that you do on the table and stuff like that.
You know what's hysterical about that? Sometimes I'll go to the comic book shops, and I take my kids too. I got them into comics, and you see some kids in the back, some guys, whatever, playing board games and stuff. Imagine somebody comes in to harass the local D&D group in the back, and you got fucking separate Jedi standing. Imagine hey, look at these fucking geeks, and all of a sudden Jedi come back. It'd be a fucking mistake. Oh, I'm
definitely our nerd group's enforcer. That's for sure.
So you're I love that. So wait a second. So in your group, are you does it depend on the story, but are you an archer or a ranger, or do you have one character? How does that work?
Oh, so you can
Paladin.
Paladins are cool too, but
what's a paladin?
A paladin's a holy warrior. He kind of stands like a religious warrior, basically.
But they are too good, right?
Yeah.
They're too good. You want someone to be able to do a little fucking, pillaging or something.
Yeah, you need someone. So they have alignments in D&D. So a chaotic good character is how I would describe myself. Chaotic good.
Now,
chaotic good is nice.
Have you been the dungeon master? I don't know much about this game. I know the dungeon master has a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, the Dungeon Master is basically like I don't even know, man. Like he just kind of explains everything that's going on. If you have like people you come in contact with, he plays the roles of different like barkeeps. He plays the roles of like evil people that you fight and stuff like that. It's just fun, man. And we fuck around. It's not like we're being super serious. Like we'll fucking crack jokes on each other. We'll be like, yeah, I want to roll to try to fucking kick this dude in the nuts or something like that.
I could picture putting Jimmy in like the Mickey Mouse thing from Fantasia and make him the Dungeon Master. Like him, I can picture Jimmy.
Dude, I don't have the patience for it. I wouldn't be good at that game because you need a lot. It takes a while to play. Like it's not like a fast game, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like we used to play like on Sundays and we would go for like 8 or 9 hours straight. So it can be pretty long.
Yeah, and you don't get bored playing it. Like I'm so bad with. Maybe I have a little ADD. You're not. You just get into it and you get wrapped up in it.
Yeah, well, it's like it all depends on who you're playing with. That's what makes it fun. I mean, the game itself is fun, but it's like me and like all my buddies and stuff like that. Like we're fucking. We do jujitsu. We do all like this random shit, but we also do this nerd stuff. So we can all fucking get around the table and just like make it a fun experience. Like we can do cool stuff like fight dragons and fight all these badass things, and then at the same time we can just fuck around, try to like do whatever, man. That's the cool thing about D&D is you can do whatever you want. And me and my friends, we kind of balance between like fucking around, just having fun, and then like, all right, let's find something big to go take down.
Yeah, and it was a great cartoon I grew up on. I mean, I don't know about great. When you're a kid, everything's great. So there's an old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. When these kids, it's way before your time, but maybe you could throw it in YouTube and find it. It's these kids go to the amusement park and then they go on the Dungeons and Dragons ride. And it transports them into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. And you got the Dungeon Master and you had Venger, you had the one horn, you had the Tiamat, the fucking big dragon. Jim,
yeah.
Did I lose you?
I don't know anything about it.
Anyway, fuck this shit.
I know the little cat and the little mouse, and neither one of them talked. That's about as far as I go with cartoons. Now you were in college, Matt. Like what were you majoring in, and how close were you to graduating before you dropped out?
Yeah, so I was in let's see here. I was about, I want to say like 12 credits shy. I had one actual like senior level class to complete. I had a capping class to go, and then I had one like half semester, half credit class I forgot to take when I was a freshman, and that was all I needed to graduate. And I was studying criminal justice back in college.
We've had a few guys on recently, right, Matt, that have kind of said the same thing. Criminal. Did you want to be a cop? Did you want to be an attorney? What did you want to do?
Actually, I wanted to. At first, I kind of wanted to be a cop, maybe like like SWAT or something like that. But then as time went on, I was kind of like, I kind of wanted to get into like the juvenile system and work with juveniles, like as like a probation, parole type of position, just to like work with kids and help them. So that's kind of what it transcended into. And then eventually, obviously, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to fight.
You look like a probation officer. You definitely have the vibe of a probation officer. And how far you got almost, now this was just regular college. This wasn't the 3 years after, right? This was in the 4-year college.
Yeah. So this was at Marist College up in Poughkeepsie. And I did about 3.5 years. So I did my freshman, sophomore, junior, and then I did the first semester of my senior year, which was like the football season. And then right after football season, man, that's when I pretty much made it the decision.
Was there a reason you didn't finish? Did you just want to get into MMA, or was it more that you wanted to leave college?
A little bit of both. I actually was like, I wanted to stay and finish it out because I did realize I wasn't that far off. But the problem was, like I went to like a small private liberal arts school. So they didn't offer every course in the course catalog every semester. So basically I went to go talk to like my counselor, and this was like pretty much like a couple weeks before I ended up leaving. And they were like, you need to come back for a full 5th year because we don't offer all these courses in one semester. So you'd have to take like one class in one semester, come back, take one class in the next semester. So I would have had to spend a whole nother year out there in New York. So it was one of those things with me, man, where I believe timing is a very key aspect in life, especially for particular things. And for fighting, I was like, I can't wait any longer. I got to go. No, I can always go back to school, but you can't always fight. So
that's right. These years, yeah, you can't get these back.
Hell yeah. Martin Sano. Now, how did this come about? Is this just about, getting back up on the horse and getting a W under us and just getting back in there and, trying to fucking right the wrongs that happened in our last one? Was it anybody? Give me anybody, or tell us about this dude, because we're trying to find out about him ourselves.
There's not a lot of info on him.
I mean, as far as my knowledge goes, I know that he trains out at Nick Diaz's camp, and he's been there for a little bit. I know that he maybe used to be out in Albuquerque, in New Mexico a little bit. Watched a couple of his older fights, but you know what I mean? Like a younger version of me might have gotten wrapped up in a lot of that. But to be honest, man, I just coming off of a loss that I was very disappointed in my performance in. And I basically just told myself, like, I don't give a shit what the name is, what his record is, where he's from, whatever. I'm going to say yes to anybody that the UFC puts in front of me. So, and I'll take that as like I'm a spiritual person. I'll just take that as a sign from up above that that's who I'm supposed to be fighting. So, that's kind of how my attitude towards it. I did do my research a little bit on him just to kind of gather what I could, but, yeah, man, I don't really care too much for the name. I just want to get back in there and fucking kick some ass.
And how do you respond to a tough loss like that? Like, does it take you a week, or like, how do you move past it? Or is it one of those things that you shake off pretty quickly, or what's your way of getting through something like that?
Well, again, like I've matured a lot as a man. So the last, not the chaos fight, but the fight before that I had lost, I took it like, I did not take it well. And I was very immature with how I took it. And I learned a lot from that fight, and I ended up going on like a 5-fight win streak after that. And then in comparison, after losing to Chaos, man, I can honestly say I was a lot more mature about it. I didn't let the emotions get the better of me. And I was back in the gym, like, that next week, ready to fucking get back at it. So I've definitely matured in that sense. But yeah, man, like I said, I was not happy with the performance against Cass, but I was a lot more mature about how I handled it.
Yeah, shit, man, that's right. What are you gonna do? Go around punching walls? You know the deal. Semi, the Jedi. You gotta just, go forward, man. Like the Semi you are. I'm excited to watch you fight, man. You got a ferocious style. And sometimes when guys are coming off a loss, they get even more ferocious because they want to fucking make an example of that next guy. So I see that in his eyes, Jimmy.
Yeah,
I see it. Jimmy.
It's there.
Now, what was? You said you handled it like you were a little more immature after that loss a while ago, the last one before Chaos. What does an immature Matt do differently? Like, what was different for you? Was it that your training suffered, or you kind of languished in it longer?
Yeah, I guess you could say I just kind of like, I got stuck in the result a lot longer. Like, I'm pretty sure I was just friggin' laying in bed for like a week or two, just like not wanting to do anything and just like sulking for no reason. When it's like, I think back to those times now, I'm like, man, why are we being such a bitch? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, like I said, man, I've matured a lot with it. But back then I would almost kind of just close myself off from everything for a while. And I'd be losing valuable time when I should have just been getting back up on my high horses like I've been taught to do ever since I was a young age, man. But it was one of those things, man. It's just a reminder that I had to be reminded of.
Now, like the week of the fight, you don't got your buddies to kill time. It would be great if they were there with you. You could kill your time cutting weight doing an 8-hour fucking journey to Middle Earth. But you can't do that now. You're by yourself. What are you doing to kill the time now? You watching any movies? You're watching any series? Because I always like to get turned on to new shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, I watched what was it? I watched that Godzilla vs. Kong movie last night.
How was that?
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Like the storyline, I didn't get too much, but I feel like that whole world has its own lore itself. But the fight scenes were badass, dude. They were freaking sweet.
Do you like this Godzilla? His head is tiny. It bugs me. I don't like little tack head Godzilla. It really annoys me.
Yeah, I've never really, honestly, I don't like Godzilla that much, man. Like he has like a lot of crazy powers and like his breath and stuff like that. But I like Kong way better, man. He kind of strikes me as more of like the fighter.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what was a good one was? Really, I enjoyed this one a lot. Was it Kong Island? Wait, what the fuck was it?
Kong Skull Island.
Skull Island. That was good. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that one, dude.
That's what that had Sam Jackson in it.
Ooh, all right.
That was I'm telling you, because I seen the one you're talking about just now. That one's a superior movie. You will enjoy that one. Oh shit, yeah. That's a fun one. I like that one a lot, Jimmy. You should watch that one too.
Yeah, I don't mind King Kong. He's more relatable than Godzilla. He's a mammal, so he beats his chest. He likes, he's like us. He's more relatable.
It's kind of ironic that you upset that you don't like Godzilla because he has a little head.
His tiny head irritates me to no end.
Dude, I got a head like a Rottweiler. You got a little head that I feel like I can just squash like a grape.
I do. Maybe that's what it is. Godzilla's a fat body and a tiny head, and I see myself in Godzilla just making noise, getting nothing done.
Shit. Oh, you're killing me. All right, Semi the Jedi.
Yeah.
What else we got for Semi?
Good luck on Saturday. You're on a huge card too, which is great. They obviously must have some faith in you. They're putting you on this card, and I'm sure we'll see a good fight out of you. I'm looking forward to watching you again.
And I'll see you down there, buddy. I'll be cornering Marab, so I'll say hello.
Hey, let's go. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, Matt. Good talking to you, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Got it, buddy.
All right, talk to you again. Take care.
Take care, Matt. You know what's funny, Jimmy? I'm looking tonight, and now are you at the airport now? I have a driver waiting for you. I was supposed to leave in the morning, so I think they think I'm there.
Oh.
That's funny, right? So I don't know who's texting me, but this is weird.
You should just say, yes, I'm wearing a yellow hat, and make the guy walk around for a fucking hour. Should we do a couple of picks before we go? I'm very congested, so it's hard for me to breathe.
I'm with Jimmy. I love you.
I don't have COVID symptoms. It's just I'm stuffy.
Let's do it. I'm with you. Let's do it.
What do you want to do? Do you want to do? There's some good fights. Andrade Calvillo. Let's do the whole main card, Matt. There's some really good fights. None of these fights you can look. They're all great fights. So Cynthia Calvillo, of course, is coming off that decision loss to Caitlin Chukagian. Yes, buddy.
I'm going with Cynthia Calvillo.
I am going to take Andrade.
All right.
Second round stoppage.
Decision, Cynthia.
Now, Curtis Blades, Jairzinho Rosenstrike.
This is the question, my friend.
Curtis is 14-3, Jairzinho 12-2, very comparable records. Who does what they want to do, I guess, right? Like,
this is the thing. I'm trying to think, and I like Jairzinho a lot. When's the last time he dealt with a grappler? When? I don't remember him dealing with a grappler ever. I didn't mean to get all uppity there.
That's okay. You're not wrong.
But, Jim, why should I give a fuck if that guy's a young guy?
Because he was just joking and being a ball breaker.
Now I know.
But you took it as he knows you're with Aljamain, and you thought he was fucking with you. I get it. Yeah.
But I like everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy. So, Jimmy, let me see here. I'm gonna go. Jimmy, you're so funny, Jimmy. You know me so well, and I know you. I'm gonna go with. This is such a rough one. It really is. Who are you going with?
Curtis Blades. And I don't mean that to say that so quickly. I just think that his ground game is too strong, and he does have more power than people think. Derek Lewis is a rare breed of a guy who can withstand that and fight it off long enough to get that short uppercut, to time that takedown. Rosenstrike, again, a great kickboxer, but I'm taking Curtis Blades.
Submission.
What's that?
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
What'd you say?
I said second round submission.
Yeah, I was going to say second round submission as well.
Well, now at least you could say that I'm not copying you. And you're not copying me.
No.
That in your mind. But I knew you were going to say something like that.
You're right.
What I want. All right, we're both in agreement. Let's move right along.
Diaz Lawler.
Diaz.
Yeah, I think we talked about this already. I think the fact that we already picked these. I think I'm taking Nick too, because I think that 7 years or 6 years without a fight is going to be an advantage to the rest of his body got. I think I said I'm going to take a third round stoppage.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Okay. All right. I got you know what? I was going with Valentina, but should I change it to Lauren Murphy because she's an underdog?
Well, it's whatever you feel. I wouldn't take anyone against Valentina.
Me neither. That's why I'm not.
Except Amanda.
I can't take it. Listen, nobody can take offense to this. If I didn't talk to anybody that picked against me with George St. Pierre, I wouldn't talk to anybody.
Sure.
So, including you.
No, I didn't pick against you at GSP.
Oh, listen, you don't got to bullshit me.
I'm not.
Okay. I'm going to Valentina by decision. And then we both went with Ortega.
Yeah.
But, oh, my goodness, after that conversation.
I know.
Now he's working with Craig Jones.
I'm still taking Ortega. I think I had him in the 4th round or 3rd round. Volkanovski, I could easily see winning by decision too, but I just don't think he's faced anybody who's as deadly on the ground as Ortega. So I think that Brian just finds a way to get a hold of him.
Okay. All right, Jimmy, listen.
I'm going to go clear my nose out with my Navage, thanks to Amanda Nunes recommending it to me.
What is it?
It just cleans your nose out with salt water.
Listen, man. All I know is I got to go make the flight later. There's a driver waiting for me right now in Las Vegas. Let me let them know that I'm not going to.
What time is your plane?
It's later on tonight, 8-ish.
Oh, okay.
I'll be in the air. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, have a safe flight, man. I'll talk to you over the weekend.
Jimmy, I miss you already, but I'll have my phone on me if you want to FaceTime.
Yeah, we should do that.
All right. I'm on Cameo, Matt Serra.
And I'm on Cameo, Jim Norton, but I'm not on the app, only online. So do it on your computer.
SarahBJJ.com if you want any merchandise. Hey, look at this. You thought I was going to show you my abs again.
Very nice.
Jimmy,
yeah, very nice.
My nipples hard. Jimmy, I miss you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. I miss you too. Thank you, everybody. And UFC 266 this Saturday night.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.